Hi everybody. I just wanted to take some time to go over our part 2 of our Youth Success During a Pandemic series. And it's more focused on self-care than it is, just the pandemic itself. This is something we did talk about a little bit with the first video, but I wanted to touch on some things a little more in detail, okay, for this one. So self-care, why self-care? Especially right now, again, this is something I talked about with the first video. Self-care can help replenish your physical, mental, and emotional energy and boost your creative and spiritual reserves. So these things can kind of get depleted or kind of fall off the wayside, when we're stressed and, dealing with something like a pandemic. It can be kind of hard to focus on ourselves or different areas of our life that still need attention. Being stressed and worried, especially with these big health scares, sometimes we can forget to take care of ourselves in certain areas of our lives. So I think it's important, especially right now, and I know I keep saying it but to use healthy self-care practices. I liked this summer self-care challenge, so I wanted to just share this photo. I thought it was really cool. It's kind of for the summer months, the hotter months, I should say. But, it's something you could start right now, for sure. There's 12 different days there, but you could make one for the whole month. And it's just, someone made this. It's a list of different things for each day. They have something different that they're doing each day. Again, it's a nice little way to give yourself goals to get you out of the house and doing something different. And it doesn't have to be, summer self-care. It can just be your own personal self-care goals, and you could do something different for each day of the month or however you want to do it, or something different each month. I just liked it. I thought it was cool. Stressors. Again, this is something we talked about a little bit and how they can manifest in different ways. But I think it's just important to take the time and think about, what kind of stuff is stressing you out in your life right now. Especially since all of this started, since the pandemic and all these changes with the school systems and the uncertainty of everything. Just kind of take the time to think about what things currently are causing you stress or anxiety, and how's it starting to manifest. So are you getting those stomach aches? Are you not sleeping as well? Is your appetite changing? And things like that. Because in order to heal or, improve this area of our life, we need to take the time to identify those things that are triggering us. And just recognizing that self-care needs to be a priority, because for some of us, it's not always a priority. I liked the line about feeling guilty because honestly, I've been at that point where I have felt guilty thinking about myself or spending too much time on myself. And sometimes that can hinder you or keep you from really taking care of things that you need to. And, for those of us that may procrastinate or just put things off because we don't think it's a priority, remember, even now with you guys being at home, you are still a priority. Taking care of you still has to be towards the top of your list, because I like to say you can't pour from an empty cup. Well, you can't. So it's important, in order to take care of things in your life, to take care of yourself first. Again, managing stress and looking at different coping strategies. So I like the idea of kind of placing your different coping strategies into categories. So identifying them as healthy or unhealthy. So the things that you're doing to help manage your stress, are they things that are advantages to your life? Okay, let me kind of reword that. Is it creating positive change in your life, or is it creating more stress? Is it leading to other problems? In the classroom, I would talk about risky behaviors and choosing to take risks in order to deal with stressful situations, such as, substance abuse, things like that, which we would consider an unhealthy coping strategy. So we really want to kind of take the time to recognize, okay, so when I am anxious or stressed out, what is it that I'm doing for that, and how is that having a positive impact on my life, or is it not? I liked the idea of a little health review, or inventory, as I like to call it. um, Again, just taking the time to think about, how much sleep are you guys getting at night? Because I know, for me, I've actually been sleeping pretty well, considering everything. Considering, we're all working from home, and, I get a little cabin fever here and there. But overall, I haven't been too stressed. Not that I've recognized, anyways. So, kind of take a step back and look at yourself. What are some things going on? Are you sleeping more? Are you sleeping less? Screen time. I like that our phones actually tell us. This is something I talked about with my students when we were talking about like media and the impact it has on our lives, especially right now since everything's digital with school and everything else. You know, take a minute, look at your screen time on your phone, the hours you're spending a day in front of your phone and with your different apps. Has it increased since the pandemic? Decreased? It's probably increased for most of you, I would think, because of everything being online. But it's really interesting because I've checked mine a few times, and it's surprising how much time I've actually spent in front of my phone or computer. And sometimes, looking at that number, how many hours you're spending a day in front of a screen, it kind of helps remind you, okay, I need that, or I'm missing that, kind of social interaction piece, interpersonal communication, face-to-face communication. I think that's always really important, but I know that right now that's kind of difficult to do since, social distancing. So make sure you stay home. I'm not telling you to leave the house. Stay safe. But it is okay to miss it, because I know I do. And, look at your appetite changes. I will be honest, I'm really bad about breakfast. I do not always eat breakfast, but I would like to start. And sharing your plan, okay? Once you think about different areas of your life that you might need to work on, or just things that you're lacking in, feel free to share it with other people. Even if you post it on social media, I like the idea of sharing it with other people. It kind of helps you stay accountable. And this is actually something I created, and it's for myself, really. It's called the 4 Rooms activity. I've actually done this with students in the classroom, but I like the idea of it. I actually got it from a professor at LC for one of my classes, and I thought it was a really cool way to kind of like take inventory of what you're doing for your life. So, you divide it up into 4 rooms: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And just kind of think about what kind of things you're doing for those rooms or those areas of your life, or what types of things you're starting, to work on. Currently, for me, these are just some things I'm doing right now, given our situation, being stuck at home and, trying to social distance ourselves. These are just some different things that I'm doing for myself currently that I am capable of doing. again, given the circumstances. So, just take some time. I would suggest, on your own, creating one of these. And like me, for example, my smallest rooms right now are emotional and spiritual. So I know that that's something I could work on. I could work on, different tasks or things to add to these so that I know I'm taking care of myself fully. Because, it's always important to remember that you want to take care of yourself as a whole and not just, physically or mentally, but we want to focus on you as a whole person. So, if you have any questions or have some feedback for me, I would totally appreciate it. Have a good day.